y'all, it's Savannah, and this is Savannah Says. So today, well, first of all, I know that I've been gone for a while. I wasn't really reading in July. I hate to say it. I read a lot of bad books in a row, and it put me off. But August is a new month, and I'm here to start fresh. And today, I'm here to do the books that I will never read challenge that is going around on YouTube. And honestly, this is the 5th time I've tried to film this. So if my phone stops and you see me in a new clip agitated, that is why. I have 10 books here today that I'm going to talk about. I think for the most part, if you've watched anything on my channel, you should not be shocked by any of these books. They all fall in line with things that I just don't want to read. There may be like one or two that seem shocking, but again, for the most part, this should not be a surprise to anyone if you clicked on literally anything on my channel. So let's get started. First up, we have One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Now, this is a book about a girl who gets on a subway every day and she falls in love with another girl who gets on the subway every day, but the girl who's on the subway every day is a ghost, and she's also like trapped in the 70s or something. And honestly, right off the bat, don't care. I don't care about teenage love. I am an adult. I don't really need to be reading about teenage love, but also like I'm not into the cutesy thing, you know, and I would be into a ghost romance. Like I would definitely, totally, absolutely read a book about a ghost romance, but this is not it. Now, if they made a TV show or something, I might be inclined to click depending on who's cast, but like for the most part, I don't see myself ever reading this book. The second is a book that's very well beloved on YouTube, and it is Red, White, and Royal Blue, also by Casey McQuiston. And this is a book about two gay teenage boys. So again, teenage love, don't care. But one of the boys' mom is like the president of the United States, and he's Latino, so that's exciting. And so the book is about him and the romance with his boyfriend, which I'm not against the romance part. I just don't care about the cutesy part of it, but I do know that they're making a movie, and the hot guy from Kissing Booth 2, not the main one, but the actual hot one, he's like the main character, so I definitely will be clicking on that. Next up is The Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. And if you know anything about this book, I think it's evident why I will never read this. I'm not a person who likes indulging in other people's misery. I don't like reading about people's trauma. I don't like watching people's trauma. I don't want to hear about anyone's trauma. And honestly, I have to ask why you would even write a book that's about trauma. And saying that it's like traumatic and miserable is not even like a strong enough descriptor for like all of the shit that happens in that book. Like it's full of trigger warnings, which I don't know that like the trigger warnings would set me off personally, but just like conceptually, why someone would write a book where the entire premise of the book is to talk about how someone's life just continually gets ruined. I'm here for a good time. I read to be happy. I read to escape. I read to enjoy myself, not to be miserable. So never gonna read that. This next one might upset some people. It's The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. And I guess subsequently like the whole series. Like I've thought about wanting to read this series, and I actually read the first book 40% of the way through. But if you know me through my videos or know me at all, like in general, I have to have a plot. And considering that I read almost halfway through the first book and nothing happened, I don't think it's going to go well for me if I continue to read the rest of it. There was so little plot that even I was confused about what was going on, and I don't know how I could be confused when there's no plot, but that's literally how pointless it was. Nothing was happening. And I know that people love this book and they love the whole series, and they say it's like, they don't say, it's literally one of the most well-beloved series like on BookTube, and I truly just do not care. I might read it for a challenge or something because I've already started. I might just want to continue just to see. But from what I read so far, I literally can't even tell you what was happening because that's literally nothing happens at all. And I just don't know that I want to read a book that's 400 pages, well, a book and a series of nothing. Like, I'm down with vibes, but there has to be a plot. Next up is A Secret Life by Donna Tartt, and I guess also anything by Donna Tartt. Never gonna read it. The first reason is that I don't know that I'm into dark academia because I've only read the one book and I didn't really like it because it was mostly vibes and pretentious behavior, and I'm not really into that. But also, I know there's like the N-word in this book, like a lot, and I don't know what she could possibly be writing about that she has to be writing the N-word like in dialogue. Like, what is going on in this school, this pretentious school full of white people, that they could only be using the N-word? Like, what's going on in the plot, sis? Like, I'm not really understanding. And usually that wouldn't bother me if the book was like good enough for me to excuse it, but I just don't think it will be. And again, maybe like I might do a torture challenge and I might make myself read it. But yeah, I'm not seeing it for Miss Donna. And all of her books are obscenely long. And I do know there's a movie for one of these books, and it definitely stars Ansel Elgort or whatever the fuck his name is. And it's already not looking good. Like, it's so many levels of not looking good. I think it's a no for me. Next is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. Ugh. Again, teenage love, first strike. But I read From All the Boys I Loved Before to All the Boys I Loved Before, whatever that book is called, the first Lara Jean book. And I think that might have been one of the worst books I ever read. Everybody was miserable. They were all bitchy. Lara Jean was not likable. She was like baby. She was like giving middle school, even though she was a junior in high school. And to me, it's fucking weird. I don't know that this series will be good enough, will be better than Lara Jean, which already was not good enough to make me want to read it. Now, Lara Jean movies, discussion can be had because I love those movies. So if they're making a movie out of this, which I think they are, I might click on the movie because I tend to find that contemporary romance does better for me when it's in a movie form. But I'm gonna Google and see when this book was written just to like make sure what I'm about to say makes sense. Okay, yeah, so The Summer I Turned Pretty was written in 2009, and then Lara Jean was written in 2014. And I'm not really seeing how, if Lara Jean sucked, that something that was written 5 years beforehand would be any better. So I think it's just gonna have to be a no for me. But again, I will click on the movie because it's more digestible, and if it sucks, like, it's not as much time of my life flushed down the drain. Next, I have Anything by Sally Rooney. I just don't care. I don't think that book is for me. I think that the people who like that book, good for them. But if you look at the demographics of the people who enjoy that book, they don't look like me. And I think I should just take the hint. And not saying that's a bad thing. I just don't know that I can relate to that life, those struggles, whatever the plot of that book may be. I really cannot tell you. She has like 3 books. There's a TV show. I don't care. Normally I would click on a TV show, but I truly just don't care. And I know they're popular online right now, but yeah, I'm not seeing it for me. Next is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Again, don't think I'm the demographic for this. Also, I heard it was depressing, so that's 2 strikes. We're just gonna round it up to 3. It's out. Ali Hazelwood. Anything by Ali Hazelwood, I'm not gonna read it. And you know, I don't have anything against fanfic being turned into books because I read a lot of fanfic and I like fanfic, and typically speaking, fic is better than published books. And it's always evident when a fic has been published into a book because you can totally tell what the fandom was. And I know she's got a couple of books, and you know, I would be inclined to say that I would do a challenge around that, but I'm not seeing it for myself. The science one, whatever the name of that sciencey one is, I know it's Reylo fic, and I tried to read Reylo fic, and honestly, I cannot separate Adam Driver's face from anything having to do with Reylo. And so I don't even like Reylo. So why was I reading Reylo fic? Like, I don't even like Reylo. So off the bat, not feeling that. And I think every book that is in her series or whatever it's called is like Grumpy Sunshine, which again, we're on like strike 5 at this point. This book's out. They're all out. Never gonna read it. Don't care. And lastly, A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Now, this is the one that might have people, you know, a little bit upset because this is also another beloved series on YouTube. I have that book. I have the first book in the series, and I've tried to read it no less than 3 or 4 times. And every time I only get to page 25. And I think I've reached the point where like, enough is enough. I'm never gonna read it. I don't care. Like, it's not that I don't care about the premise or like the genre, because that's totally something that I would read, but whatever it is about that book, like, I just don't care. Maybe one day I'll read it. That's all I can say. Maybe one day I'll read it, but for now, I'm not seeing it in the card. That's all I have. These 10 books are definitely just not for me. If they're for you though, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if I should try to read them. If you felt the same way and then you had your mind changed because you read a good review or you read the book and you liked it, let me know. I'm always open to have my mind change. I'm always open for a new review. So like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.